So if you are really into like the reality show scene and looking at reviews of those on YouTube, then you're pretty familiar with Funky Dineva. Funky Dineva has been around over 10 years. I actually first saw him while I was watching um, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. He was in the audience. It was a reunion show, and he was in the audience. And this was back in the day when he was wearing the wigs and like makeup and stuff for his character Funky Dineva. And he asked somebody a question. I don't even remember who it was, but it was he was hilarious, and I started following him immediately. I think I've been following him since 2014, so that would make this 10 years. So if you follow Funky Dineva's career, he's been a YouTuber. He's been on, I think he still does Dish Network from time to time. He does a radio station in Miami. And his biggest thing that he's done here recently, the last since 2020, when we were in the pandemic, is on Fox Soul, which is a channel on YouTube. Fox affiliate, of course. And the show's called TGIF because it, stood for, TEA, as in, give us the T, play on the words TGIF, or the acronym TGIF. So it started off coming on Fridays. And then it went to, I think it was Wednesdays. And then it was 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. Now, I'm such a Funky Dineva fan that I wasn't even, I was so into his stuff on his channel that I didn't even really know about TGIF until, it started popping up in my YouTube. And so I started watching it. Then when I started watching it, it was Wednesday and Fridays. And I'm a dedicated watcher, right? So they were like, during the show while it was going on saying, hey, soulmates, that's what they call the TGIF fans. Hey, soulmates, like this live, like this, blah, 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 so we can get 5 days a week. And I just felt like 5 days a week was going to be too much. I just felt like 2 days a week was enough. There's only so much newsworthy things to talk about every day as far as pop culture is concerned. And they didn't only just cover pop culture, but that was the bulk of what they covered. And so I'm chilling, this morning, doing whatever. I was getting ready to see The Color Purple, right? Later this afternoon. And I see a notification saying from YouTube, from Funky Dineva, saying, yes, I'm leaving TGIF. I don't work there no more. I'm like, what? So in the video, he's talking about basically, he used a example. He was like, let's say I got $20 a day for the 2 days we worked. Well, when it went to 5 days, it lowered. So they got less money. And he was like, yeah, you can look at it like you're making more because you're working more days, but it's like, okay, we went from such and such these 2 days. I need basically it's like I need that same amount for 5 days, and I get it. And so he didn't renew his contract, so he is no longer on TGIF. And I started watching TGIF for him. Prior to that, I was not familiar. I knew who Claudia Jordan was. I've seen her in videos. I've seen her. I knew of Al Reynolds, but I didn't know him like that at all, as far as like just them talking, their personalities, until TGIF. And I came to TGIF solely for Funky Dineva. And their chemistry is great, even though they may argue sometimes, which, I mean, you're not going to agree with your co-host on every single subject every single time. But it's like that chemistry, I just don't know who they can get to replace Funky that would make it be this. I mean, it can't be the same, but who are they going to get to replace him for that? Like that trio is perfect. You got Al with the seriousness and the facts, him laughing at Funky being silly. Funky is really great. If you haven't watched his YouTube, please watch him. But he's really good. He's funny, but I love how he can break things down in his commentary about things. And he's definitely gifted in this career of his, right? And Claudia makes a great host, and she does good. She's well at her journalism as well. So, and of course, I knew this was gonna happen, but as soon as I found out, I said, "Watch, I'm gonna go on YouTube, and there's gonna be people talking about he got fired and all this stuff." It's so hard for people to believe that you can walk away from something, because Funky basically was explaining like, okay, I can make more money doing YouTube on my own platform than what y'all paying me over here to work 5 days a week. Granted, it's just an hour, but you know, you got to look at it. You can't look at his job like the regular 9 to 5er, right? So, I mean, I don't blame him. And, you know, honey, the Soulmates, I was on Fox Soul just looking through comments on various, you know, shows that they have, and everybody's talking about, look, bring Funky back, pay him what he's worth, pay him what he wants. My thing, because I always felt like, even though I love the 5 days a week, I felt like it was going to be too much. I just felt like 2 is enough. I think they should go back to 2 days a week, to be honest. I feel like 2 days a week, that way you don't have to have these, you know, very trivial topics to talk about because you have to stretch out an hour-long show. 2 days. Then on top of that, they have the same tape. You know, I'm old, getting old because I'm saying stuff like tape. But they still have the same tape of commercials every single episode, and you have to look at that 5 days a week. It's like, look, just go back to Wednesday and Friday, and then go back to paying them what they were making. Because I liked the show. I liked it. I would watch the replay the next day at 11 a.m. Central, because that's when it comes on my time. So it's kind of sad. It's like I had got accustomed to seeing him on there. He actually was working more on there than on his channel. Like on his channel, he would drop a video here and there. And I noticed also last week that they had pre-recorded some episodes, and I'm thinking that's why, because they Dineva was basically saying they were trying to negotiate all the way up until like the 31st. So they had pre-taped shows. So who knows? I mean, I still get to see him on his platform here on YouTube, so I'm cool with that. Funky is definitely in like my top 5. I like him, Rodney the Voice, and Timothy Blaine. Timothy, call him Uncle Tim. He cracks me up, but we'll see what happens. Fox Soul, if you happen to find this video, the viewers are telling y'all, man, pay the man or take my advice. I know I'm just a little old no-namer, but go back to 2 days a week and pay them what they were all making before. But who knows? We shall see. Peace and blessings. Thank you to my 42 subscribers, man. Love y'all to death. Y'all have a good one.